Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. This video includes paid promotion. Well guys, did we nail it or did we nail it? Or are we still kind of on the fence here of if we nailed it or not? It's coming from Chart Nerd. So far, Nerd has not missed since April 2026, and similar to our XRP analysis, the monthly Gaussian channel awaits below for Bitcoin. So that is $48,000 and climbing. I expect a final drop in late Q3 to early Q4 to mark a genuine bottom between $50,000 and $40,000. So 40 to 50,000 he means here. Guys, take a look at this chart. We are getting very, very close. If you look at previous cycles, all right, we got the cycle peak obviously here at these levels and the cycle low GC base. And guys, we're getting very close to the one that is forming in 2026. As you guys can see, Bitcoin is, well, right now it is seeing a bit of exuberance. It is climbing a little bit here. Generally speaking, though, what we see is a little bit of Bitcoin exuberance, a little bit of FOMO here midsummer, and then it tapers out, generally speaking. So in former summers, especially in bear years, what we tend to see is a bit of this. Sometimes in August, September, we see a bit of this. Then it comes back down November, October, November. And then what we generally see for Bitcoin is we see it base back into these levels here that we saw in the early summer. It bases in here and then boom, we see one more capitulation event. Now, is this going to happen for Bitcoin this time around? I mean, it's a good question. In the past, we've seen it. Are we going to see it again? Always a good question. You know, markets will repeat, but they're not necessarily carbon copies of each other. So this is what we have to eye. There are different metrics that we have to take a look at, that we have to pay attention to before we can kind of, best guess where the market's going next. Fear and greed is in neutral. We're slowly moving up, guys. It's been this slow grind to the upside in terms of feeling some confidence, I guess, in the crypto space. Market cap is down by a little bit, and today we're actually printing some red on the board for cryptocurrencies. So, most of the altcoins, they're taking back today. Just going to interrupt this video for a second. Here's a word from one of today's video sponsors. Guys, let's be honest, the crypto market has been moving sideways for a while now. A lot of people are just sitting on their coins waiting for that next big move. But while you're waiting, your crypto is just sitting idle in your wallet doing absolutely nothing. That's why I'm going to mention it again, the long-standing partnership I have with FortisX. Instead of letting your assets sit idle, you can put supported cryptocurrencies into FortisX liquidity pools and earn daily rewards while still keeping the flexibility to withdraw them anytime you want. And I keep working with these guys because they keep delivering. The team is public. They've successfully completed Cyberscope team verification. So that's KYC. They've passed independent security audits, and the platform has been building consistently for years. They're focused on long-term growth, transparency, and security rather than hype. In a market like this, it makes far more sense to have your crypto working for you instead of letting it sit idle. I've worked with FortisX for a long time, and if you're planning to hold your crypto anyway, I genuinely think it's one of the smartest ways to put those assets to work. Remember, investing is inherently risky. Always diversify your investments. This is not financial advice. XRP is one of those cryptocurrencies that we have just witnessed taking back a little bit today after a big climb here over the last few days. So for XRP specifically, another one of those cryptocurrencies, obviously following Bitcoin. But now we're finding that it is calming down. So it was forming this inverted head and shoulders pattern. The question becomes now, are we going to break past this trend line? Are we going to make some higher highs on the chart? Very good question. Well, apparently XRP whales are accumulating, guys. This is coming from Bank XRP. So the XRP whales that hold between 100,000 and 100 million. So that's a huge range there. XRP in their accounts have accumulated about 2.8% more coins over the past 5 weeks. So that is an increase, while retail wallets have actually offloaded about 5.2% in that same period. So what that means, retail is less confident than whales are confident. Obviously, whales are more confident than retail. Retail is offloading a heck of a lot more. Whales are accumulating. Obviously, we are starting to see some real bottoms form now. Prices rebounded to a 2-week high of about $1.16 as of the time of this post here, as smart money quietly builds its position. So you can see that here. Whale wallets of between 100,000 and 100 million have accumulated here, while we see the retail wallets dumping about just over 5% of their coins in the past few weeks. So Guys, retail sentiment obviously not doing great, but the whales, the institutions, they know exactly what they're doing. Check this one out from Zave Crypto. XRP spot ETFs recorded a $5.66 million net inflow on July the 21st. So that was yesterday for those of you guys watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it. Entirely driven by Franklin Templeton's XRPZ ETF product here. So he's posted a little video here just showing you guys daily net inflows. You can see that amount here from Franklin Templeton specifically. That is $5.66 million in daily net inflows. And you compare that to some of the other products there, and the number is 0. So interesting to say the least that they're choosing the Franklin Templeton product specifically, and specifically yesterday. Maybe it is because we are finally getting some concrete news about crypto clarity in the United States, and maybe it is a reaction to what's happening somewhere else in the world. Check this out. Anders posting this very good news coming from Eleanor Turret. Now, Eleanor Turret did originally post, I'm hearing from multiple industry sources that the White House has agreed on an ethics package for the Clarity Act and sent the language to certain Senate Republicans this afternoon. It's still unclear what the details of this agreement are. I've reached out for comment, but industry participants are hopeful this could clear the way for an updated bill text to be released soon. Now, guys, the Clarity Act has it's still, the chances of it passing before 2026 is over is still fairly low. I think the other day I posted this, it was at 39%. Now it is at 41%, so just a wee bit higher. And Chad Steingraber also giving us the Kalshi ads for the Clarity Act. Will crypto market structure legislation become law? And so it has gone up a little bit. Here we have some dates. So if it does become law before November 1st, that's about a 43% chance. Before December 1st, that's a 48% chance. And before January 1st, that's a 48% chance as well. So the gamblers over there on Kalshi are, I guess, a little bit more bullish on crypto clarity passing in the United States before the end of the year. Clearly, we've also got Nick Crypto Crusader commenting on the Clarity Act and noticing something else. So I had multiple replies say you jumped the gun calling the Clarity Act emergency legislation because Russia won't pass their crypto bill. Well, just 24 hours later, and the significance of getting the Clarity Act done just skyrocketed. Guys, check this out. Russia's first comprehensive crypto law is 2 votes away from passing. So now that Russia has crypto clarity, or is 2 votes away technically from crypto clarity, does this mean the US has to step on the gas? Russia's State Duma, the lower house of its legislative body, takes its 2 final votes to the country's first comprehensive crypto law on Tuesday. The bill, titled On Digital Currency and Digital Rights, still needs Senate approval from Russian President Vladimir Putin. And the original target was July 1st, but the delay came from coordination bottlenecks between government agencies, per reports by the Russian outlet Kommersant. And so the bill is creating this. Okay, the legislation sets up a licensing regime, a government-issued permit system for crypto exchanges, brokers, and custodians that store cryptocurrency on your behalf the way banks hold cash. The Bank of Russia becomes the authority issuing those permits and can bar any cryptocurrency it deems a threat to financial stability. Major financial institutions aren't waiting. Not every coin does qualify either to trade legally in Russia. Cryptocurrency needs a market cap. The total value of all coins in circulation above 5 trillion rubles, so roughly about $65 billion, and at least 5 years of verified trading history on a licensed foreign exchange. So if you think about that for a second, $65 billion and history as well. You cannot just kind of come in guns a-blazing into the crypto space and say, list my coin. Russia, they're just not going to do it. So, if you look at the top 10 cryptocurrencies, of course, Bitcoin has over $1 trillion market cap. We've got Ethereum at 231, Tether, and Bitcoin, all these would qualify. And getting very close down here, XRP at 71 billion. So, that would technically mean that Solana wouldn't qualify. Am I right there? Yeah, it has to be 65 billion. Solana wouldn't qualify. So if you think about that for a second, only a certain amount of coins will qualify, guys. Let's just put it up here. Yeah, only a certain amount of coins would yeah, no, that is the market cap. The market cap is how we rank these coins on CoinMarketCap, obviously. So only a select amount of coins, a select few coins would be traded in Russia. Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, and XRP, technically, according to these metrics alone. So that's interesting. Speaking of coins and particular coins that have been popular and some that are now becoming institutionalized in the United States, the S&P 500 just launched a digital asset index with no Bitcoin. Go figure.
There's 18 constituents total. The largest 5 are Ether, Binance Coin, Solana, Tron, and Hyperliquid. So what are the requirements? How much turnover do you expect? And what do these choices represent?
Yeah, so let's just admit that digital assets moves faster than equity assets, for example. But what we're trying to bring are the same sort of principles that we have in our equity indices into digital assets. So when you think about the seasoning period, the revenue generation, the listing requirement, the liquidity behind these different protocols for these tokens, these are the things that we think matter for serious investors and asset managers in the digital asset space. And so we think because there's this likeness between what we deliver in equity indices and into this new benchmark for digital assets, we think it'll make sense for the investing public.
But Bitcoin's not in here?
Bitcoin is not in there because it's really not one of those revenue generating protocols that we think belongs in this index. It meets all of the criteria, which there are many, in order for inclusion in this index. Now, this index, just like our other equity indices, will rebalance on a quarterly basis. The top token is capped at the 35%, and no other token can receive more than 20% of the balance in this market cap weighted benchmark.
So did you hear that there? They have to be income generating cryptocurrencies. That's why Bitcoin is not included, nor is XRP. So it does have 18 assets. Okay, digital asset index prioritizes revenue generation, liquidity, listing standards, and market history. So they listed the 5 largest holdings there. This marks a major shift towards measuring crypto networks by underlying economic activity, not just by price and market cap. So an interesting benchmark there. I guess, maybe you could get a bit of a different type of exposure from investing in these particular types of cryptocurrencies. I mean, currently, all these cryptos are just following Bitcoin. It is still a speculative market. This is where we're trading. But the utility, guys, will become important as time goes on. When I think about where we are for agentic payments today, it reminds me of the early days of cloud infrastructure. This coming from JIO. The potential was obvious, but the tooling and standards are still coming together. It feels similar today as AI agents become more capable. They'll need payment infrastructures just as seamlessly as the way they are already exchanging data. That was exactly the kind of infrastructure the XRP ledger was built to provide. So crossing, guys, 1 million agentic transactions on the XRP ledger. This is a huge milestone for the XRP ledger, and RippleX did just report this. So RippleX, head of engineering, expects the number of agentic transactions on the XRP ledger to climb rapidly after recently topping 1 million. So 1 million, I guess, was that initial push, and now we're going to see a lot more flood in. I was very pleased to see the 1 million milestone on the XRP ledger, but I think we'll blast through 10 million and maybe even get to 100 million within a couple of years, given the pace of development with agents and how infrastructure continues to get better. Agentic payments refer to transactions initiated by AI-powered software acting on behalf of humans. So getting computers to make your payments, again, I feel a little skeptical about this particular thing. Put it down in the comments. Tell me how you guys feel. I'm curious to know. Crypto companies see an opportunity to provide these agents with digital wallets, allowing them to make programmable payments on chain and around the clock without relying on traditional banks or credit cards. Interest in the technology has intensified as developers envision a world in which AI agents autonomously pay for data, computing power, and other services needed to complete tasks. The main focus, obviously, is making it frictionless for AI agents to pay for APIs and digital services on the XRP ledger because of the strengths that we offer from a settlement perspective. So 3 to 5 seconds, he says, and then it gives some more details on some of the developments we were hearing over the last few weeks. So guys, AI agentic payments have surpassed that 1 million mark. And one of the developers over there at RippleX does think we could get to 10 to 100 million in the next couple of years, just because of the sheer speed that they're developing over there on the XRP ledger. Piercis also gave us an update regarding the XRPL EVM update 10.1.0 that has now been successfully deployed across both testnet and mainnet. And for those of you guys who do not know what that is, the XRPL EVM sidechain version 10.1.0 is a specific node software release and network upgrade managed by validators for the Ethereum virtual machine compatible sidechain for the XRP ledger. And so this install new binary, download and compile the update release, check version, configure a Cosmovisor. If you need help, you can contact support there. So not really giving us too much detail, but EVM sidechain also utilized within the industry as an option there. XRP Ledger completely interconnected to that through the EVM sidechain, or through Ethereum through the EVM sidechain, excuse me. Going to keep moving along, guys. Charusan XRP also just commenting on what Io said about agentic payments. So back to agentic payments, we will very soon witness AI agents making billions of transactions on the XRP Ledger in just 1 month, or even within a single week. AI will need to use money. So I noticed that many XRP holders are really underestimating AI agents. So let's talk about this. Some of them don't even care. For me, I'm like, I'm skeptical, to be honest. Yet it's far bigger than almost everything else we're currently focused on. This makes me insanely bullish. So just talking about the tech, essentially saying, if this is the future and this is where the XRP Ledger is moving, guys, we're moving in the right direction. And we're holding the correct cryptocurrency to benefit from this. On top of which, the Bank of Maldives is going to transform core banking with Ripple partner Finastra. I happen to see this too. Finastra, of course, is a global leader in financial service software. Today, they just announced that the Bank of Maldives has selected Ripple partner Finastra to modernize its core banking operations and support its long-term digital transformation strategy. The agreement will enable the bank to accelerate product innovation, enhance operational efficiency, and deliver seamless banking experiences across both conventional and Islamic banking services. By implementing Finastra Essence, the Bank of Maldives will gain a modern, open, and flexible platform that supports faster time to market for new products and services. Okay, streamlining operations through greater automation, seamless service, and straight-through processing. Relationship managers to better meet evolving customer needs with innovative offerings. The bank's continued delivery of both conventional and Islamic banking products. And guys, we have a quote here from one of the CEOs. Our strategy is anchored in continuous innovation and delivering lasting value to the customers and communities we serve. So that was the Managing Director, Mohammed Sharif, CEO and Managing Director of the Bank of Maldives. He continues by saying, our partnership with Finastra Essence represents a pivotal step in our digital transformation journey, providing the agile, future-ready foundation we need to accelerate innovation, drive operational excellence, and expand our ability to deliver world-class financial services to customers nationwide. So boom goes the dynamite there. We have Ripple partner Finastra really knocking it out of the park with the Bank of Maldives. Of course, all these companies are doing their part, connecting RippleNet into the fabric of finance. And eventually we are going to see utility being driven to the XRP cryptocurrency, and demand will go up. Yes, demand will go up, guys, eventually. I got to admit, I was a little skeptical when I saw this. I had to look into this. John Squire posting, you can now send private XRP payments directly through Apple iMessage to your contacts. Is this true, or is this BS? Well, we have to look into it. Another step towards making digital payments as easy as sending a text. The future is arriving faster than most people realize. And he posted this little video here that was created with AI, iMessage, XRP. I had to take it to Grok, and apparently I just asked quickly, can you send XRP payments through iMessage? And apparently, guys, this is a hoax. No, there is no native or direct way to send XRP payments through iMessage, at least not now. Apple's built-in Apple Cash, available in messages or on iPhone US only, supports sending and receiving fiat USD via iMessage, but it does not handle cryptocurrencies like XRP. Now, that is not to say that it won't in the future. That is not to say that maybe Apple is working with the folks over there at RippleX to integrate the XRP ledger at some point. But as of today, no, we're not seeing this right now. I mean, it is still status quo. We still do have to focus at getting in the crypto space at the best entries possible. And if you guys want to follow me, you can always follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for my approach on how I'm getting into the crypto space. I'm already in some positions. I'm already swing trading some XRP. So follow me if that's something you're interested in. Patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. The subscription is only $5 a month. I think it's pretty affordable for what you guys are getting. You should also come check out the Working Money Channel merch store if you're interested in helping to support the channel by purchasing some Working Money Channel merchandise. I cut the link in the description of the video, and I'm offering 15% off until the end of the year. So boom, there you go. No, not the end of the year. Sorry, end of the summer. Link is in the description of the video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.